Well, welcome back to my Let's Play for Infinite Space. We're on the final couple parts here, I think. Or 4 parts, maybe. I'm not sure. Depends on how things turn out. But we're in the final we got final chapters we're going on now, so... Captain, I wanted to stock up on as many space parts as spare parts as possible for the battle with Lugovalian, but what? Is there some kind of problem? Yes, actually, there's been a lot of wear and tear from all those battles. Our parts budget is completely dry now. You gave Brava Sonetto 2000G. That's an awful lot, are you sure? It's an important battle. Use it to make sure we're completely prepared. God, this will be more than enough to ensure a 3-month parts inventory. Even if we can't restock. Thank you, Captain. Plants a soft kiss on Yuri's cheek and then leaves the tavern triumphantly. Yuri's fame increased by 50. Well, that's right, I can't travel the normal sector route because we went this way. Attention all ships. We're entering a sector susceptible to the starburst effect. Boost radar sensitivity to maximum. You left the starburst region. Returning radar levels in normal mode. Well, that should be about do it. Yuri's facing the console at the captain's seat, busily manipulating some controls. Thomas, did you convert this data to SDF code and send it over to Linux? SDF code? Really? Thomas' face tenses up ever so slightly when he hears the word SDF. It's the highest level of secret military code there is. Yup, have Linux forward it to President Brian, too. You got it, Captain. Realizing how classified the data is, Thomas refrains from further questions and begins preparing the data transfer. Ray leans back in his seat and watches Thomas, whereupon he hears the door behind him open and close. Captain, do you have a moment? Something the matter, Professor Min asks. No, it's nothing like that. It's about the arc of the progenitors, actually. I was hoping you might be ready to tell me exactly what it was that happened to you over there. Yes, well, I realized that something quite serious must have occurred there. It was quite apparent to all of us, judging from your manner and appearance after you got back. But in the past, you were able to talk to me about your own power, phenomena, fluctuation sectors, and the like. So I thought perhaps you could talk to me about this latest incident, too. I don't know, Oh no, Yuri, you don't have to tell me right this very second. Whenever you feel ready, I'll be waiting for you. With that, Gabriel Minas proceeds to walk off the bridge. Suddenly, Yuri thinks of something and calls out to the professor, a hint of desperation in his voice. Professor Minas, I have a question for you. Yes? Do you remember Kira? Kira? Now, who might that be? Oh no, never mind. I just thought you might remember her. Yuri cannot hide his disappointment. The professor studies his face for a while, hoping to find some sort of answer there. But finding none, he turns around and leaves. Guess I technically should put my other ship back in the line. Hmm. You don't need that anymore, so... I really should talk to the professor about what happened. Here, I finally resolved to tell Menas about what happened in the at the Ark of the Progenitor. Ugh. Takes a deep breath and walks over to where the professor is sitting. Really? You finally decided to tell me about what transpired on the Ark? Yeah, but it probably won't make much sense. I hope you'll bear with me. Don't be silly. I specialize in not making sense. Oh, what I mean is I'm all ears. Alright then, here goes. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Professor cannot hide his excitement at what Yuri has said. He makes this known with repeated shouts and exclamations, but he soon realizes Yuri's state of mind and, ashamed, bows his head quietly. Please forgive me, Yuri. You lost someone special to you in the process, did you not? I didn't mean to get so worked up like that. It's alright. Still, to be able to wipe the existence of this Kira you mentioned from the very fabric of the universe. Perhaps these overlords' possess powers quite similar to yours. Similar to mine? How do you mean? Perhaps these beings you call the overlords have granted you powers that are analogous to theirs. Actually, when I heard that you had stabilized the phenomenon fluctuation sector, I came up with my own hypothesis of sorts. What sort of hypothesis? In a flux sector, all phenomena exist in a fluctuating or unstable state. Now, if I'm correct, that fluctuation can be stabilized by having you observe it, on account of your special powers. In short, I believe that your very purpose in our universe is to serve as an observer. Someone who can stabilize flux sectors imperceptible to ordinary human beings. So that's why you think the overlords created me? I believe so, and it seems that your latent desires is somehow reflected in your use of that stabilization power. What do you mean, latent desire? The first time you stabilized a flux sector, it resulted in the Irvis sector, did it not? I guess that's right. At that time, the dispute between Kalmos and Nova Noceo weighed heavily on your heart, and you believed that the problem would be resolved if only there were a greater number of habitable planets nearby. Well, if my hypothesis is correct, that is why so many new planetary systems with habitable zones resolved when you stabilized the Irvis sector. And what about the second time? You willed the Desmond Gate to disappear, and that's exactly what happened. That's insane. I mean, those are godlike powers you're talking about. No, they're not quite so handy or as powerful as that. After all, they can only directly affect flux sectors. Still, all that is stabilized as a result of your power affects the perception of every human being in the universe. The Overlord's wiping of Kira's existence from our minds and from the universe itself is perhaps the antithesis of your power. You might be right. Professor finishes off his drink while eyeing Yuri, who has suddenly turned very silent. After a brief pause, the professor begins to speak again. Well, I suppose our next piece of business is to figure out how to oppose these overlords or whatever they are. But we don't have enough information to even start thinking about that. Oh, I beg to differ, Captain. We already have it, at least in the memory of the android that was once Kira. If what you said is true, she must have come in contact with the Overlord's information stream when she accessed that system. Even if she did, I could never... No, I'm not suggesting that we dismantle her remains or anything brutish like that. But we can extract and analyze the data she accessed at the Ark of the Progenitors. Don't you think this is what she would have wanted? After all, she put herself at risk to get you that information. Yes, alright. Please extract and analyze the data for me. You can count on me, Captain. And rest assured, I won't do anything that would even put the slightest dent on her android's body. Thank you, Professor. Oh, and one more thing. I believe that the epitaph that you said appeared by her body will prove to be quite useful in the near future. Keep it safe. What makes you say that? Because it's the vessel in which that young lady's true feelings were cradled. Her true feelings? Oh, I seem to be talking with my emotions now. How very unscientific of me. Seeing that professor trying to hide his embarrassment with a long drink from his glass brings a slight grin to Yuri's face, something that no one has seen on his face for quite some time. Something's out there. Looks like there's about 50,000. No, wait, it's more than 200,000 ships are close to it. Whoa. Seems the coalition fleet is finally assembled and ready. Alright, this should be enough to face off against those Lugovalians, right? Nope. Spesty Secker in the small angelic cloud. Prince Seo, about what Yuri said when... Relax, Ian. This is a man we've been allies and enemies with. I'd say he's worthy of our trust. Yes, Your Highness. I'm gonna go see my father now, Ian. Coil, you two hold down the fort, alright? Yes, Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. Several hours later, Seo is in the throne room, meeting with his father, Emperor Tyrannus of Lugovalian. No one else is present. Father, how come you never told me about the Overlords? Where did you hear that name? Yuri told me. He says you know all about them. Aren't these Overlords our real enemies and his too? You speak as if you already understand. Father, is that true reason behind our conquest of the universe and the quest to find the epitaphs? You've got to answer me, Father. The Overlords are the ones who created this universe. And they shall be the ones who ultimately destroy it, I'm afraid. Destroy it? What, the whole universe? Yes, their true nature is unknown, but we do know that they control the Void Gates and the Cosmic Trade Authority as well. As such, victory will only come by forcing a united sense of purpose upon all of mankind. So it is true. If that's the case, why can't we just join up with Yuri and his people to fight these jerks? Have you learned nothing thus far? What do you mean? Ultimately, people will only fight for their own gain. They never unite unless they're led by someone with power greater than their own. But Yuri, this guy's different. He has the same power as you, Father, and he knows the truth. Enough, Seo. Emperor Tyrannus refuses to hear anymore. Seo, who knows his father's temperament all too well, curbs his frustration and glares down at his shoes, shaking. But something seems to snap inside of Seo, and he raises his head and speaks. Hand? Head? Fine, if you don't want to listen to me, then I'll just have to make you. Seo races over to the throne and thrusts his sword at his father, the Emperor. Well now, so you would strike down your own father? All because of this Yuri, a mere upstart foreigner? It's not because of Yuri. I just think that the Lugovalian people have already suffered enough. I mean, if we know these Overlords are so powerful, it would be stupid to fight people who only want the same thing as us. Why can't we work together to take down our common enemy? Such foolishness. I have witnessed many men who have lost the will to fight, and prostrated themselves when faced with the Overlord's might. But Yuri is not that kind of guy, so you say. Very well then, I shall go forth and ascertain this with my own eyes. Huh? No, wait. Ugh. Foolish boy. Spend some time alone until you have cooled off and cleared your mind. Why are there so many pirates in this area? Here's a new blueprints in here. So we'll pick these up. Yeah, I'm getting really sleepy right now. We're heading back to headquarters. I think we already activated that event because we went past it, but whatever. Goes to the president's office. There we go. Head to the president's office to find Bernard, Bryan, and Brad Lennox there waiting for them. Ah, you're back, Captain. Very well done. We now no longer have that threat looming over us. We're also able to complete the formation of the coalition fleet. We couldn't have done it without you, and for that I am truly grateful. Mr. President, you get that report I sent you? The one about the Ark of the Progenitors? Yes, I read it. I have to say, quite honestly, that whole story seems rather far-fetched to me. I thought you'd say that. If I were in your position, I'd probably think it sounds crazy, too. That's another way to put it, yes. Still, there's the reason behind why Lugovalian is after the epitaphs. And then there's Adias' religious doctrine. It all fits perfectly with what you said. And to that, my earnest desire to make peace with Lugovalian. So what now? Well, if we share a common objective, there should be room for dialogue. That's why I sent Weimar to negotiate with the Lugovalian commander. As our ambassador, he was given full diplomatic powers. Are you saying that peace negotiations are already underway? No, unfortunately they refuse to see him. It looks like there's no way to avoid this coming battle. But, so I guess CO isn't exactly in an understanding mood then. Actually, it was their invasion fleet commander, a man by the name of Neil Ehrman, who turned Weimar away. Ehrman, where's CO then? We don't know for sure, but Ehrman made it sound like he'd been replaced. CO was replaced? That's quite a shock, Captain. I was convinced it was Adias that was behind the Void Gate accidents. I've been looking over all sorts of records since then, but there's not one mention of a Void Gate accident in recorded history. But simply checking them up to unknown causes gets us nowhere, doesn't it? Have there been any more accidents since that last one? I haven't heard of any yet, but needless to say, it has the Zero-G dogs out there sitting on the edge of their seats. The Spacefarers Union is demonstrating for a raise in hazard pay, and the cost of ship insurance has been skyrocketing. This all, of course, has a major impact on the economy in each and every star system. Oh, for you to stop as he tries to leave the room. Captain, we just received a message from Vice Admiral Saint. It says a meeting will be held regarding the Coalition Fleet's defensive strategy against Lugovalian over at Galactic Defense Headquarters. Right, and I'd like you to head over there right away. As the Supreme Commander of the Coalition Fleet, I'll be there, too, although it's more of a ceremonial post than anything. Yeah, I know they're going and coming. The moment Yuri enters the war room, he feels someone tapping his shoulder. Gah. Long time no see, Captain. Jemenza? Scully is going to join the Coalition Fleet. We can't sit around idly while the large middle class faces this terrible threat. Wow, you're the last person I expected to see here, but I'm glad that you made it. I didn't come alone. Take a look over there. Chancellor Erskine here takes a look around the room. Major leaders from all over the large Magellanic Cloud, including Amanzo, Nacio, Libertas, and Zenito, are gathered here. It seems that only Adias failed to send any of their representatives. Well, I can't believe they managed to stuff so many bigwigs into one room together. You set the wheels in motion, Captain. You should be very proud of your contributions. Thank you, Mr. President. This historic summit will decide the fate of the large Magellanic Cloud. Now let's get started, shall we? Alright, allow me to update you all on the current situation. First, I'd like you to take a look at this. The Lugovalian fleet is now steadily sending reinforcements here to the large Magellanic Cloud. We believe their fleet now consists of about 500,000 ships. Their new commander, Neil Ehrman, has divided the fleet into two forces, and is now starting to pressure the Andalusia and Gibraltar sectors. Rear Admiral Baer from our Regalic forces is in charge of defending the Andalusia sector, and the defense of the Gibraltar sector is in the hands of Libertas Admiral Douglas Bernard. So far, it's been a hard-fought battle in the face of the enemy's heavy onslaught. Ugh. We received word that the enemy continues to receive reinforcements. What can you tell us about that? Captain, will you please tell us all you have heard on that matter? Promise to speak, Yuri gets up and slowly scans the gathered members. I heard that Lugovalian Emperor and the fleet under his direct command have reached the small Magellan Cloud. Reinforcements we've been hearing about are from his fleet. It seems they are being gradually deployed here to the large Magellan Cloud. The Emperor's fleet? How many ships does he have? About 1 million, more or less. Oh dear. That's not good. We couldn't possibly stand up to such a huge force, even with the coalition fleet. Not in a traditional fleet battle, at least. Is there another way to do this, then? There always is. Well, what do you have in mind? I've never been more eager to hear your ideas than I am now, I have to admit. There's only one option the way I see it. Invade the small Magellan Cloud and launch a surprise attack on the Emperor's flagship. Anything else has a 0 chance of success. A surprise attack? But that would be... The sectors around the Void Gate to the small Magellan Cloud are under complete Lugovalian control. We'll have to destroy them somehow if we want to pass through that gate. They'll just open up a new gate. We can use this. As he says this, Yuri removes something from his pocket. Everyone's eyes fixed intently on the object he holds up. It's all that is left of Kira's short life. Her epitaph with its beautiful ephemeral glow. An epitaph? That's right. This epitaph will open the way to where I want to go. It will not fail me. And once we get to the small Magellan Cloud, what are our chances then? Alec, let's hear what you think. Okay. The success of this operation hinges on how much of the enemy's main force the coalition fleet can lure here to the large Magellan Cloud. The enemy couldn't possibly imagine we'd strike them in the small Magellan Cloud, so they'll no doubt keep pumping ships here into the large Magellan Cloud. The question is, how much pressure can the coalition fleet withstand? True, if the enemy makes it to Federation headquarters before you take out the Emperor's ship, we'd end up losing anyway. Yes, but if the coalition fleet can hold out, the Emperor's ship in the small Magellan Cloud should be left relatively exposed. Still, the odds will be against us, considering the limited number of ships we have for the surprise attack. In that case, I'd be more than happy to join you. Besides, I couldn't bear to let Yuri go off and have all the fun for himself. Thank you, Lord Roth. You don't mind, do you, Neil? Whatever, I mean, you've already made up your mind anyway, right? I'll go with whatever you decide. As will I. I'm going to. I'd like nothing more than have you both along, but you're each a vital part of the coalition fleet. What do you think, Vice Admiral? If it will increase the chances of this operation succeeding, then I think they should join you. Admiral Norton and I will hold back the enemy's main force as best we can. Now this is getting interesting, but I suppose it was bound to be that way. Then it's settled. The fate of the large Magellan Cloud rests on this mission. Let's do everything we can to deal a crushing blow to the Lugovalian Empire. The Summit members nod silently but with conviction at Lord Roth's words, looking very satisfied as he scans the room. Bernard Bryan wraps up the Summit with some final words. This battle decided the fate of the 200 billion people who live here in the large Magellan Cloud. We must not let them down. Yuri, the coalition fleet is setting out. It's about time we head to the small Magellan Cloud. Yeah, I guess so. It's time to defeat Emperor Tyrannus. Lead the way, Captain. Oh yeah, we gotta go to the Area 2's Void Gate, I believe. Yep. Fine, if I can't escape, I'll wipe you out real fast. Aragorn sector, we're head to Gibraltar sector. Should just bypass this. Whatever, end it quickly, right? Come a little closer, Neil. I'm fine right where I am, thank you. Oh, come on, I mean we're going to be married, aren't we? Can't I let you snuggle up to our future husband just a little? No, we have to get married first before we can... Huh? Nia. Prince Niall. We can't have you taking Princess Nia out without permission, you know. But Now you listen to me. Your engagement may have already been decided, but you're still just the prince of a satellite nation. Don't you ever forget that you're not an equal standing with Her Highness Princess Nia. Why now? El Ermin, I heard you talking in your sleep earlier. You must be exhausted. Barsova. What's the current situation? Our reports indicate that the enemy's reinforcements have arrived in this sector. It seems it's a combined fleet consisting of the various nations of the Galactic Federation. I see. Barsova. For you, what does Lugavius... Admiral? No, never mind. Now is our chance to crush the enemy's main force in one fell swoop. Order our forces to advance. All of them. Yes, Admiral. The fleet begins its advance with Erwin's command. Several hours later, it makes contact with Douglas Bernard's fleet at the Gibraltar sector front. In nearly the same moment, it also launches an attack on Franz Bernard's fleet defending the Andalusia sector. We're just gonna keep moving forward. There's nothing really to do other than that, so... Okay, I got to Area 2's dead gate. Sorry, dead gate. The one that used to be Desmond. Yuri, don't tell me you're planning on using this dead gate to... That's exactly what I plan on doing. If I can revive it with this epitaph, I'm sure it will lead us to the small angelic cloud. But until we actually go through, how can you know for sure? Oh, there's no need to worry, Lieutenant Snizer. You and I both agree that this epitaph will most certainly open up a path to the small angelic cloud. Professor Miss, how do you... Alright, Yuri, my boy, it's time to work some of your epitaph magic. When Miss nods to him, Yuri produces the epitaph from his pocket with a look of conviction on his face. Kira, please open the way for me. Open the way to defeat Lugavius and battle the overlords. Well, you look at that. The gate really did open. This is the gate to the small angelic cloud. Fasten your seatbelts, everyone. Well, if anyone was worthy of a leap of faith, I'd say it was definitely you, Yuri. Let's give this gate of yours a try. What is it? Captain, just report saying a large enemy fleet is approaching from Pendan. Seems they've used an alternate route. Damn those Lugovalians, they must have detected our movements. Captain, this is bad. If they pursue us through the gate, we might find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. Captain, I'll hold them off while you go through to the small jet cloud. That's crazy talk, Schneisser. You don't have enough ships to hold them back. I'll be alright. The enemy fleet won't get a single ship into that gate, even if it costs me my life. Alright then, I'm counting on you, Schneisser. I won't let you down. Just do me a favor. Don't take any unnecessary risks, okay? I couldn't stand to lose any more good people than I already have. Understood. Okay, Lord Roth, let's get through that gate. Lead the way. Yuri's fleet and then Lord Roth's fleet disappear through the gate, one after the other. Dr. Snyder watches this as if he's trying to permanently etch it into his mind, and then turns around and gives an order to his first officer. Call Real Admiral Baer for me. Now it's time to use that second ship we've been keeping on the sidelines. Where are we? Hold on, I'm getting data that matches our charts. Let's see. Calamos Junction Sector. Oh, yeah, I remember this sector from the position of those stars. See, that's Miltine over there. Yes, I suspected as such. Saying that you predicted we'd exit into this sector, Professor? I did. The dead gate that we'd once here transformed into the Desmond Gate and moved to the large Major Cloud. This was all that artificial epitaph I created. Now, if the Overlords perceived this irregularly as they no doubt did, then they must have placed a new dead gate here to replace the one that was lost. I was actually right, or I mean, I knew it. I see. Alright, this is my first excursion to the small Magellan Cloud. You have any idea where that Emperor might be? Well, it may be called the small Magellan Cloud, but there's nothing small about it. I think the Specie sector would be our best bet. What makes you think that, Alec? The Lugovalians are still sending reinforcements to the large Magellan Cloud. It follows that the Emperor's command center would therefore be near the gate to the large Magellan Cloud. Oh, right. The gate to the large Magellan Cloud is in the Specie sector. Exactly. Well, that certainly makes sense to me, so if you lead the way, Yuri, let's head for that Specie sector of yours. You got it. I'm sorry for all the yawning. I'm really pushing it to try and finish this before I go to bed. Can't run away. Save it. So Nia was a princess, huh? Well, might as well at this point. About everything else that got in our way. Where do we stand at present? We've decimated Bernard's fleet and broke through the one section of the front. Perfect. Tell the fleet at the front not to rush things. They're to slowly but steadily ramp up the pressure. I don't want any fleets out ahead where they'll be alone exposed, understood? Roger. Admiral Erman, we just received a strange report about that ship. And? It seems that the dead gate in the Andalusia sector somehow revived, and they passed right through it. They gate out, but now how is that? Haltzman's sentence and his expression of surprise quickly transforms into a scowl. Damn you, Yuri. Admiral, we have to get to the small jet cloud, Versova, now. I want the fleet under my command to accompany us too. What's going on? Admiral, we must not withdraw without His Majesty's permission. The punishment for disobeying orders is death. The Emperor's life is at risk, and I've already briefed Rear Admiral Gann on our tactical plans from this point on. He'll take over from here. The prime objective of the Andalusian Invasion Fleet is now to use that gate to follow Yuri. Yes, sir. Fleet, Andalusia sector. He's getting his butt kicked. Hold the line. We can't let the enemy pass this point, no matter what. You're asking the impossible, sir. Enemy reinforcements keep arriving one after the other. Damn it, they already have us against the ropes, but we can't allow them to pursue Yuri into the small jet cloud. For all ships, continue to engage the enemy while preparing to withdraw from the combat zone. As for our ship, all hands are to evacuate immediately to our escort ships. Sir, you're not really going to... You heard me. Abandon ship. I'm going to use the Kreber S2 Exa laser cannon. Tara's that star. Yuri is right ahead of us. Give me, Yuri. I was unable to keep my word. Damn it. We're almost through this chapter. There's just one more left after that, so... Well, apparently we're going to have to fight our way through this chapter. Quickly fire, get rid of it. Since we really continue, we don't have the fighter here, so we're just moving on. Oh, Yuri, there's an enemy fleet dead ahead. And it's quite a bit larger than those defense squadrons so far. Where did they come from? I've been waiting for you, Yuri. I saw right through your plan to catch Emperor Tyrannus by surprise. Prepare to die, Yuri, and to have you remain scattered to the far corners of the universe. The enemy fleet is on the move. They're going to try and surround us. Yuri, we'll punch a hole in their line for you. Get out there and finish off Ermin, then make for the Emperor's flagship. Thank you, Lord Roth. It's time to settle the score with Neil Ermin once and for all anyway. Yuri switches on his microphone as his ship sets out. Hear me, comrades in arms. We're going to break through the enemy and take out Emperor Tyrannus. Pound the Lugovalian invasion fleet into Gruss. Okay, let's go. Very shout of encouragement seems to echo throughout the normally silent vacuum of space as they go on the attack. At the same time, the other ships of the fleet begin their attack, making a beeline for Ermin's fleet. Take that. The enemy fleet is widening its cordon. If we don't do something fast, it's not over till the fat lady sings, Neil. Prepare to fire our high-stream blasters at maximum power. We must open a path for Yuri. Okay, commencing high-stream blaster charge-up sequence. High-stream blasters. Fire! Was that Lord Roth? Who else? Now listen, Yuri. We're stuck here in low power mode for the time being. You go take out Ermin while we keep the enemy occupied here. I owe you one, Lord Roth. I won't waste this gold opportunity you've handed to me. All hands, our target is Ermin's ship and Ermin's ship only. We're going to rush out at full speed. You're the boss. Oh, you actually got dodged up before we fired. Darn it. Yuri, there it is. We're almost in range to engage Ermin's ship. Finally. Now I have you, Ermin. I've never thought you'd make it all the way here, Yuri. Ermin. Out of all the battles I've ever had, this one's the most personal. I'm going to enjoy pounding you into Gruss. Lowborn scum, this isn't your battle, Yuri. Mine is the noble cause. To spread the rule of Lugovalian to all corners of the universe. To unify all people under our great banner. We will prevail whether you like it or not. You're too much, Ermin. Do you actually believe you can unite all the people of the universe by force? That is exactly what I believe. With Lugovalian's overwhelming might, it's simply a matter of time. You must either yield to the power of Lugovalian or die, Yuri. Ermin, you fool. Misery and ruin are all that awaits those who really rely solely on power. Sweet. Where's the song's freaking out? It's too much epicness, I guess, for the game to handle right now. Oh, that's why it took so long. I'm way outranged. We're taking out the enemy fleet. They won't be bothering us anymore. I have you now, Ermin. Defeat is a bitter pill to swallow. I've had quite a run, but all good things must come to an end, I suppose. Nia. Is about to collapse as he mutters to himself. But just before he falls, he grabs onto a nearby council panel and his eyes suddenly regain their fire. No, that is not fit for my last words. I, Neil, will not pass from this world uttering the name of a woman. I don't believe it. The enemy flagship is still operational. I think they're going to try and ram us. Captain, we better take evasive action. No, we stand our ground. I want him to watch up and close and personal as his dying effort end in vain. Dying efforts, I mean. Ugh. Ah! Look out! Ah! We did. We took out Ermin. Yuri. The battle's not over yet, Thomas. I want a damage report for the entire ship. You got it. Oh, just one page, okay. Okay. There, that ginormous ship's gotta be the Emperor's. Doesn't look like the enemy realizes we've gotten in this close. Time to charge in full throttle. Don't engage the other ships that try to get in our way. Keep your eyes on the prize. Can't launch fighters? Why couldn't I launch them earlier? Barrage for a chance to get their guard up. Enemies from our rear position? Yes, Your Majesty. It seemed that Ermin has been defeated. Ermin? Defeated? So it has come to this. I suppose that upstart once again. Detach the rear living quarters module. We must not allow our civilian personnel to get caught up in this battle. Yes, Your Majesty. $30,000 until we can engage the Emperor's ship. Don't let anything slow us down. Being inside the enemy's formation, they'll risk hitting their ships anytime they fire. It's one of those headaches. This pain must be here, the Observer. Your Majesty, this enemy, is it Yuri, the one you've been speaking of? Without a doubt. Turn the ship around now, I shall crush him myself. Verifying target contact. Commencing final adjustment process centered on the point of intersection. Final adjustment rate A7, 90, 94. Final adjustment rate has reached program target value. Authorizing transition to final phase, starting from phase 11876. Activating self-awareness termination program, activating phage system. Yuri, what the grus was that? It was like space itself was distorting. Yuri, it must be the moment of perceptual intersection between you and Emperor Tyrannus. Professor Ernest, are you saying... Yes, there's no doubt about it in my mind. The Emperor is an observer, just like you. It's like I always knew it somehow. Yuri, the Emperor's ship is heading this way. It's time to end this once and for all. Emperor Tyrannus' war pitting man against his fellow man ends right here. Why can't I launch my fighters? They really take that much damage in the last part. Don't worry about the other ships, just hit his. Oh man. It's times like these I wish I'd brought Alec with me to do formation focus. I got Lorinda in charge right now, and that means I can spec up for fighters. That's about it. I think we did it. The enemy fleet has gone silent. Believe me, they're not finished yet. This battle ends when I say it does. Quickly, orders to the opponent. Open the warp gate system. Macklin was the meaning of this. I shall accept my punishment later, Your Majesty. But we cannot afford to lose Your Majesty here. That's a gate system. I mean, someone other than Valentine's got one of those things. We had him against the ropes, and now he's going to get away. Leading forcing our ship to retreat is a victory in itself. I'd say we've done it pretty well. Look, see for yourself. After withdrawing to the Algavian sector, Emperor Turnus agrees to a ceasefire with the Galactic Federation on the advice of Galvin Macklin and other senior statesmen. He also reinstates Sio as Crown Prince and sends him to the Federation as Lugavius' representative to the peace talks. Macklin's advice and a report by their Chief of Security, Ian Finnick, were key factors in swaying the Emperor to seek peace. Two full pages plus a third one. Yuri, it's Vice Admiral Sankt. Okay, patch him through. Well done, Captain. We pay a terrible price, but the large cause has been saved. What's the damage look like over there? I'm afraid we didn't fare so well. We lost about a third of our ships and high-ranking officers, including Admiral Bernard and Commander Schneiser. Schneiser? We lost him too? He gave his life holding off the fleet that was trying to pursue you. His use of that exo-laser cannon was a stroke of genius. Schneiser. The tale has been terrible. At least we've established a ceasefire with Lugavius. Negotiations on non-aggression pact are underway on the planet Anon as we speak. I'd like you to head over there too. Understood. Yuri, I'm going to go on ahead to Mariel Guild. The mire took quite a beating out there, I'm afraid. I got to get back and start patching it up. Okay, we'll see you back on Mariel Guild later on then. Captain, this area is still teeming with Lugovalian ships. You sure we're going to be okay out here? The ceasefire's already been agreed on. I don't think they'll do anything stupid now. Let's make sure we don't do anything to provoke them. Okay, but I still don't like it. You sure look tired, Yuri. You think so? I guess that now we've reached the ceasefire with Lugavius, all that built-up stress has finally caught up with me. Well, we have been through lots of battles. There ain't nothing wrong with taking a little breather every now and again. But we've lost so many. Neil and Schneiser. Think I'd used to people dying by now, but this is really hard. Neil died? Wasn't she on Lord Ross ships? Do you mean Franny? Or Kira, maybe? Yuri, don't you think it's about time you found a special someone you could lean on? Especially at times like these? Huh? Yeah, she's totally right, Yuri. It's been about time you got yourself a little lady friend. That way you wouldn't have to be alone when heavy stuff like this goes down. It's not a big deal, bad deal, you know. Come on, Yuri. There has to be a special someone you have your heart set on. How about that Nasio princess, or... Yuri can only imagine a ride chuckle at Torla Atkins and Titania Agora simplistic yet well-intentioned meddling. And that's where I'll end things. We got one more chapter to go. And it should be about the same length as this one. So hopefully it'll take me only about another hour to finish this game up.